I wish, because I taught in a Band 5 school, and I taught there only for 1 year, because I was very upset during that year. The kids there couldn't learn any English at all, and they had a lot of family problems, because I had the usual way of talking to them every lunchtime, so I knew all their family problems. I couldn't help, and I remember for that year, I actually cried quite a lot at home, back at home, because I felt there was nothing I could do to help them solve their problems. I remember thinking that year that the only way I could help these students is to give them a home, but I couldn't. So what else could I help them? I couldn't. And then in that year, I also kept telling myself that I didn't want to be a social worker. I didn't choose to be a social worker. I chose to be a teacher. I wanted to teach. I just didn't want to be a social worker. That's too hard for me, because emotionally it's too heavy for me. So that's the reason why after a year I quit that school. And to this day, I still felt bad about it. I consider myself a sort of runaway soldier. Didn't like that feeling. And I think what I wish today that I knew back then was that I think I've been talking about, I knew I should be a role model, but I think I only knew back in the days when I was in schools as a kind of feelings rather than as a very rationalized principle and understanding. So I would hope that in those days, if I actually understood this as a key principle, then I could help myself to feel better. And then I would perhaps make a different decision. And frankly, even up to today, I still feel that, I've been working here for ever since this place existed. And I think I should be an academic, but I don't see myself as an academic. I see myself as a teacher. I still see myself as a teacher. And sometimes from time to time, I do feel that perhaps, going back to work in a school may be something that suits me more, because I really like to work with young people and see them grow. The other thing that I wish I knew back in those days was today I have a saying to myself that helps me to stay emotionally calm, which is that don't make others' problems my problem. But back in those days, I didn't understand this, and so I could get very upset by colleagues and principals. In fact, in the 4 schools that I taught in, I had quite serious rows with the principal and got very upset, of course. I cried, and but I still, despite all these emotional feelings, I still felt that I was right. And so I kept to do what I have been doing.